Hello and welcome to the Cats and Books Club podcast. I'm Izzy.
And I'm Erin.
And we're two cousins who read books. I always wait because I feel like I need to say some description, but no.
And we talk about our cats.
And we talk about our cats. Cats and books.
We've been putting up, I don't know if you guys have noticed, well, a lot of you are noticing actually, but we've been putting up little short videos of our cats, and a lot of you have been loving those. So thank you for the likes and the comments.
Keep looking at our
thank
cats.
You so much.
They're on our YouTube channel, Cats and Books. It's just Cats and Books Pod, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go ahead and check that out on YouTube.
And read along.
So today, for our book, we have the book Faeling, which is Faeling, not like failing Fil, Fafil.
Not like
whatever.
Failing.
Yeah, failing to spell fail, flailing. Well, anyway.
Oh my god.
So we have already had SE Wendel on our podcast before for interviews. So we really admire her work as an author. And this is part of the Monstrous World series. And it's what, like the fourth book?
This is the fourth book, yes.
So the series sort of focuses on kingdoms in which like different races of fantasy creatures are intermingling, and some people are happy about it and think it's a great opportunity, and some people are not. And so this is in this political sort of hot mess that we have the framing for our story here. Our characters for this story, Erin, would you like to talk about our characters?
So we have, of course, our main character, Ravenna. She is a Fae, and she is the Fae that Alarion in the last book is kind of...
Also a Fae, Alarion.
Also Fae, is in charge of. He's kind of taken over
protecting
care of her.
He's not really caring for her.
He's protecting
just,
her, yeah.
He's responsible if something happens to her, even though he's left her sleeping in a
magical
in a
deep
forest
sleep
somewhere.
Yeah, like a magical deep sleep. And so of course we've kind of met her in the last book, but she is this Fae with unicorn
well, I don't think
protectors.
We met her. She was mentioned in the last book. Did we meet her?
We met her briefly.
Right
she didn't talk.
Oh.
But we met her kind of briefly. Like, they're like, oh, she's in this deep sleep, and this is where I protect her. Okay. This is where she is. And
so we heard about her. We did not meet her.
We didn't really meet her, but we knew of her. And I know Sweetling, the third book, kind of ends on that cliffhanger where Alarion goes, I believe, to check in on her and just make sure she's still there.
And then she ain't there.
She ain't there. So Ravenna, we find out what happened to her, of course. She, woke up and decided she was gonna go along her merry little way. Now, of course, she is trying to seek revenge for her parents,
who were murdered by, you guessed it, evil Queen Amarantha.
Exactly. But
a recurring theme in many fantasy novels I've seen recently.
Evil Queen, always an evil queen.
That's always Amarantha. It's
so Ravenna,
she works for Valak, King of the Orcs. So that's our other character is Valak. He is our sort of primary love interest here for Ravenna. He's an orc king, and she is serving as his seer because she has, I guess, foresight sometimes. Every once in a while, she gets a vision.
And she is what Ravenna is hoping to do by being with the orcs, even in disguise. She's trying to see if she can persuade them to basically become her army in her fight against Amarantha, in her kind of revenge plot for her parents.
Right. So she does have an ulterior motive for being, like in Orcland as a human presenting being, right? Because she's disguised as a human,
As a
not as a
human.
fae.
Yeah.
And so they don't really, orcs, I guess, politically don't really have any issues or as many issues with humans as they do with fae, because their war with the fae has, I guess, happened in the past, and there was
Yes, and it
sort
made
of
them
long-standing tensions.
Yes. And that is why also they don't really trust the unicorns, because the unicorns were also
On
in
the
that fight
fae
against
side,
them.
yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So Ravenna has a unicorn companion named Oberon, who's kind of like long distance bestie checking in, like, because they can talk telepathically. I feel like I wished I had seen more of Oberon in the story, because it was a lot of like, you know, telegram from Oberon, what are you doing? I see you're with the king and some weird stuff is happening. Do you need help? And she's like, no, I'm fine.
Like, go away.
And it's like, okay, doubtful.
Doubtful. He's just like, I don't think so, but all right.
Whatever you say, queen.
I do love the way that SE Wendel, like when she puts unicorns in the story, they are a very active part of the story, even though we weren't seeing Oberon as much
We
as
weren't
we
seeing him
did
in person. Like, he was
right,
not really showing up
right,
until
the very end. Yeah.
stuff started hitting the fan at the end. Let's see, what do we know about Valak in general as a guy, though? When we meet Valak, he's, discussing things with Ravenna and playing a game
Yes, they play like an orc game.
similar to like chess or checkers. It's some kind of strategy game.
And, I will say the thing that I did love about Valak and Ravenna's relationship is that even after she comes out, as herself to him, they do have a lot of fun together. Like, I feel like.
See, I am curious about that, because I was mostly seeing Ravenna being stressed by the situation. So I'm wondering what fun you're like. Definitely before they knew that they were mates. Well, I mean, she knew that they were mates, but he did not. He was having fun, and she seemed like she was having fun, as long as she could just ignore the secret. But I guess she wasn't really having fun because she didn't want to ignore the secret, but felt like she couldn't be honest about it because it would change everything. And it turns out she was right.
That is true,
because it did change everything.
That is true. That is true. But before we get into that, I do want to point out, so in the beginning, we've got Ravenna in disguise, and Valak and his orcs. There are other kind of orc kingdoms, and Valak is kind of being propositioned other orc kingdoms' daughters for marriage. So it kind of starts out where Valak is kind of expected to marry into one of these other kingdoms.
Like, for political reasons, to secure the unity of the orc race, apparently, because they were all in disparate clans. And so, like, Valak is the sort of, quote unquote, unifying king that would ensure that all orcs are protected, essentially, from fighting between each other and from exterior threats.
Yes. And I do think Valak he is a very good king, because he ultimately does want to do what's best. And he does want to grow the kingdom of the orcs, and he does want to build connections with the other kingdoms.
Right. Like, he is doing diplomacy. He's not a bad, diplomat.
No.
He's kind of I don't know if he's like a ruthless king. He's a very nope, here's the consequences. Either it's that or you can just join us, and that wouldn't be that bad, would it? So they are kind of coercing each other, because it's orc society. Like, they don't really have, oh, be nice to each other all the time. That's not really the vibe I'm getting from orc culture. It's very if I'm stronger than you, you listen to me.
Yes.
And so you can see that in the dynamic between Valak and Ravenna, because it's like in their once they come out to each other, it ends up being sort of a power play between them.
Yes.
Like they are fighting for domination within the relationship because he expects to be obeyed all the time by everyone, including
her.
his, trusted confidant.
Mm-hmm.
And so I like that she pushes him back.
Me too.
I think that is something that, like, he is not used to as the king, and that she, being his mate, maybe is one of the only people who can have power over him. And I think that's why Valak's vizier or left hand man or right hand man, whatever, I forget. Left hand man, I don't
Left hand
know.
man, right hand man.
Basically, Ulrich is very suspicious of Ravenna
And he was
when she shows up.
Yes, and he's suspicious of her before she reveals she's Fae.
And before she reveals that she's his mate.
Yes.
So before, like, both Valak and Ulrich have Ravenna's room, like, ransacked and searched.
When she's the seer.
When she's the seer. And she is enraged and sort of heartbroken about the fact that, like, okay, these people, that I thought we had a good rapport still don't trust me, and they violated, like, my space, they violated my sense of peace. And yeah, that's not really a good start to a relationship.
Yeah, that is true.
Is kind of what I'm thinking about that, where I'm like, damn, I don't really know how they really get past that, because if I had a mate and it was like, even if they didn't know, and it was them who, like, ordered creepy hater man to come into my room and destroy my shit, like, I'm sorry,
be like, excuse me,
you're on the fucking list, man. Like, I'm not talking to you. You're not getting any of. But basically, after all that happens, Ravenna is like, all right, I'm getting revenge on stupid Ulrich.
Yeah, she, like, hates his guts.
She hates him. He hates her.
Honestly, valid.
The problem is they're both fighting for the ear of Valak, who is the one who tells everybody what's going on. But what's interesting is that when they, release the information that they're mates and that because that does happen, once, Valak finds out, he's like, you're gonna be the queen, we gotta have a wedding, we're gonna do all this shit. And
see, I think he almost pushed her away by doing that, though, because because he was like ready to be her mate, right? Like, he's like ready, he's like, let's go. And she, even though I think she did show him a lot of affection and love, obviously, in the beginning, I also feel like she was also a little freaked out, because she was like,
I mean, to be fair,
okay.
He's pretty intense, and I would also be freaked out, because I'm like, I'm sorry, I have my own shit going on, and now you want me to just do everything you want me to do. And it's like, yeah, okay, I know you're king, but, like, also I have my own life.
Exactly.
I kind of thought that once they... Oh, yeah, okay, so I have a note here about the fact that when Valak finally finds out that she's his mate, she being Ravenna, she tells him that she lied to him to keep her safe from everyone, especially from him. So in that, because I highlighted this quote, I did not write down what page it was on, but that's kind of a confirmation to me that she knows that Valak is the most dangerous person to her in that moment, made or not. That, like, even though there's this cosmic connection they have, she still doesn't know if she can count on it to keep him from harming her.
Mm-hmm. Or to even, I think the other thing she was thinking of is, her sole sort of focus in her mind was, I have to get Amarantha because I have to avenge my parents. And I I don't want anything distracting me from that.
Mm-hmm.
So Valak is a distraction.
But he's also a means to the end of her goal.
That is true. So she kind of like I feel like she kind of struggled with that because she's like, look, like in her mind, I think she was like afraid to love him because she thought, okay, what if Amarantha uses him against me?
Right.
What if she kills him? What if I accidentally kill him in my seek for vengeance?
Then I can't live with myself.
Hurt? Yes. Yes.
So there's a lot of like avoidance there on her end. But she's sort of like, she wants it so bad, and then she's like, no, I can't.
Yeah, and kind of that push and pull of her emotions. I really liked that. That was one of the best parts, I feel, of the book, is showing that sort of push and pull of her emotions.
Yeah, that she's seeing the red flags and being like, okay, but what does that mean if you're mates? And like, that's a good question, right? Because mates, and this is kind of like, I mean, not like an issue I have with mates, but a question I have about it is, what are the rules governing, like, if a mate treats you badly and is dangerous to you, how does that factor into there being a fated mate, quote unquote? How is it fated that someone terrible abuses you?
That's a good point.
I'm trying to understand just, how do you break off a mate bond, right? Like, is it basically like cutting your arm off? Like, do you have to like really just fight? Like, because if you can feel the mate bond everywhere, then if you're trying to get out of a situation, then they can just kind of follow you around. They know where you are.
That's a good point. But it's so funny because fated mates are a common trope. So that, again.
Well, right. And what I'm wondering is the psychology behind what makes this appealing to people.
I think
that's what because to me, this is not really like my trope. So I am kind of questioning like the reason fated mates is appealing in this case.
I think,
like, is it that reassurance that they're going to overcome their problems?
I think
I
would say I think for Ravenna specifically. I was talking right before we actually started recording, but I was talking about how, Ravenna, her parents die. She's put in this like deep sleep, and the only other person she has had contact with at all is Alarion, her sort of kind of
half dad,
uncle-ish, unk dad,
Alunkion. Anyway,
and she is still grieving her parents, and she's really been not that Alarion doesn't love her, but she's been starved of love and attention for so long.
Well, and we see how Alarion handles showing love and affection, and it's not great. He tries. Maybe he should stop trying, actually.
But he, I think for me, in the beginning, especially, part of the reason why Ravenna tries to kind of resist the mate bond and try not to get attached to Valak is that, she knows that if she truly falls in love with Valak, that Amarantha can then use him against her.
Right.
And that she could be hurt again. It's like she doesn't want to get hurt again. So she's kind of trying.
She's like, if I don't care about you, then they cannot use you.
Yes.
And you will be safe, and I will be safe, and no one will have a problem. Which I get that. I feel like many people have experienced that. Just like maybe it is actually better to just not even bother.
I think everybody at some point, not to the extreme Ravenna goes, but I do think a lot of people have been in her shoes before.
Well, she's really brave and kind of just, I guess wound her way into a lion's den, so to speak.
Yes.
Like, and so that she knew it was dangerous, and she was doing it because, I mean, one, she had nothing better to do, but two, she was like, okay, the orcs are very strong fighters. We need fighters.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. She
I
was
don't
like,
know that was in the book, but that's sort of what I'm inferring from everything else, is that she was like, okay, the orcs could be very helpful against Amarantha because they've been fighting Fae for millennia. Like, they know how to kill people.
and yeah, I really,
They're dragons and all. I noticed that Valak, his behavior, I mean, was always kind of the same, but the way he acted towards Ravenna changed a lot when he found out her real identity and saw her real face. Like, immediately he was making demands. He's like, you will wear your face before me, and blah, blah, blah. And she's like, okay.
she's kind of like, what?
And so he just like bosses her around and demands stuff. And it's kind of under the disguise of I'm taking care of you, sort of like dom mom situation. Like, we're doing like, you will take care of yourself or else.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, I can see why that is appealing to a lot of people. The kind of like, I care so much about you, I'm going to be so intense about you taking care of yourself.
Yes.
That it's like making up for like the lack of self-care you can give yourself. Sort of. There's like that fantasy of just having someone who can actually do something, caring about what happens to you.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
I do think Valak does care for Ravenna, and I think in the beginning they were both kind of trying to figure each other out, even though it's like, oh, we're fated mates, la la la, but
they don't trust each other even after that.
Yes, like, and I think for Valak, it's like, not that Ravenna didn't want to be his mate, but that Valak is a lot more on board with it, I feel like.
Yeah, he's like, all right, bring in the U-Haul, then we're going for it. That's the mate. We found him. I don't have to do anything else. And she's like, hold the fuck up.
She's like,
I was not, I like just let you know who I really am, and like, you're already moving in. Like, what are we doing? Hang on. And he's like, but we are fated. It must be so.
Well,
what the fuck?
And then we have Valak's friend, Ulrich, who
Mr. Vizier.
understandably, okay, look, I'm not defending his actions because Ulrich is a little, well, a lot. Like,
he's villain coded. I mean,
kind of villain coded. But at the same time, I understand his actions because he is there to protect Valak.
Right. Because the end of the book, are we going to talk about the end of the book?
Well,
well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Kind of
so
the middle.
Let's like lead up to this. What happened? So an altercation finally happens between Ulrich and Ravenna.
And Valak. Because,
okay, how did this lead up happen?
So, because even when Ravenna revealed herself, Ulrich is like, oh, now I really don't trust you because you're Fae. You're not an old crone.
And you've been lying to me the whole time.
And he feels...
So, like, I guess I see that.
Yeah,
that's like, okay, we've found out that you are, in fact, lying.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, the suspicions were, in fact, onto something.
And I feel like he was like, even though Valak and Ravenna knew they were mates, and, Valak is going through towards his orc clan and saying, okay, this is my mate, you will respect her, la 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 la.
Also, she's going to be your queen.
She's going to be your queen.
And he knew people were not going to like that.
There were a lot of people that had a problem
a lot of orcs specifically.
Oh, excuse me.
Well, and Fae. I'm sure the Fae, did they hear about it? No, they didn't hear about it yet.
Not at this point. But
right now it's still.
But, we have Ulrich, who feels that maybe Ravenna is bewitching Valak, that maybe they aren't actually mates.
Right, that maybe this is all some like sick ploy to get the throne and manipulate, and it kind of was.
It kind of was in a way.
Kind of was.
It kind of was.
Kind of was.
So I feel like Ulrich's motives, while abusive, were also valid because, again, he is Valak's best and most trusted confidant. And I mean, how would you feel if your best friend and most trusted confidant, all of a sudden, you've got this new woman who's brand new to the whole scene?
Yeah, like nobody knows her. Nobody knows
her.
Who her parents are, where she came from, what her thing is, why she's here.
Right. And
like very suspicious politically to have this person show up. You don't know who she's working for. You don't know like what secrets are coming out, stuff like that. Like it's just in general when leaders have like a romantic liaison, these are always the risks that come out.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like Valak kept trying to tell Ulrich in a firm but nice way, like, yo, we're not doing this. This is my mate. You will respect her. This is how it's going to be.
That's true. He really did lay it out. Like, he laid it out.
And then ultimately, it leads to an altercation between Ravenna, Ulrich, and Valak. And then it leads to a battle between Valak and Ulrich.
So, let's describe the scene. What happens is, they're all out walking somewhere. Where are they going? To a battle when the altercation happens?
I think so, yeah. They're like...
They were out to find someone somewhere, or they were going to Amaranth's place or something. And during this whole thing, Ulrich, straight up tries to, throw Ravenna off a cliff.
Yes.
He's trying to kill her, for real.
Yeah. He, all of a sudden is just like, no, I have to protect the king, and this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to protect him from himself, and I'm going to try and throw his mate off the fucking cliff.
He goes rogue. He's like...
He does
We're not fucking doing that.
For real, he does go rogue. It's like, oh, snap.
He's like, I've had it with this shifty woman. And because of that, Valak being a very protective and loyal mate, basically watches as Ravenna is thrown off a cliff, and her magic kind of helps break the fall so she doesn't die, but she gets bashed.
She gets banged up, and her wings get kind of banged up. Ooh.
Valak just rolls up and murders Ulrich in cold blood. He's just
like, nope, not having this.
The zero tolerance policy has been enforced. And so she's at the bottom of this ravine, and she sees Valak comes down, but not before she sees Ulrich's decapitated body falling from the sky and splatting on the ground. At least that's how I remember it. It may not have happened that way. Damn.
Damn, okay.
So there's a lot going on there. And then you have a little bit about Valak sort of trying to cope with the fact that he loved the person he killed. He really cared about this person. This was not just a nobody to him. He wasn't just using him for his advice. He really had a real relationship and friendship with this guy. And he didn't want to have to kill him.
No.
But he felt he had to.
Yeah.
Because that cannot stand in orc culture. You cannot attack someone's mate.
Yeah, even if
straight up, they all knew that.
Yeah, everybody knew that.
And he was willing to do that to try and save the Orc Kingdom.
But I even remember when that happened.
Or save, quote unquote, from outside influences impacting the politics of their nation.
Well, what I loved is when he, because I was waiting for it. I was like, he's gonna snap, something's gonna happen, he's gonna snap. And when he did, I was like, uh-oh, here we go. Here we go.
It is happening.
It's funny though.
But they did, get Ravenna fixed up. I think it was magical, sort of.
Yeah, sort of magical.
They it didn't heal it fully. It just made it less miserable.
Yeah. She meets a fae named Asta in the woods. Like they're kind of brought together kind of magically. Like almost like a magical calling or something like that.
Fated mates.
No, not fated. Like a fae, kind of like a fae.
Fated mates.
But anyway, Asta is basically the last surviving fae from the kingdom, basically. And that she has the right
Whose
to
kingdom?
take
The Fae Kingdom?
The Fae Kingdom. And that she has the right, the complete right, because she can take the throne. When Ravenna finds her, Ravenna is like, oh, let's go, because you are the rightful heir to the throne over Amarantha. So now I have even more leverage. And then once they find Asta, of course, they come together with the orcs. Like the orcs do agree to fight with Ravenna because there's a lot of buildup there. A lot of the orcs, kind of at the beginning, when Valak kind of lays down the law and says, "Okay, she's your queen. Here's how it's going to be." La 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 la. Ravenna does remember. She kind of earns the orcs' respect because she does say, "Hey, who wants to challenge me? Let's make this equal." And then one of the orcs, I remember, one of the orcs does challenge her, but is ultimately defeated.
Right. And then, so she does,
and fairly, in a fair fight,
in an orc fair way, according to their customs. Anyway, so basically, it ends on sort of a cliffhanger, then, doesn't it?
It does. So basically, what happens? They defeat Amarantha, but right before they defeat Amarantha, they've got all these orc kingdoms coming together to fight Amarantha. And also, then Alarion shows up with Fae. So it's like we got Fae, we got orcs, like a nice epic sort of battle.
Ends up converging.
Yes. And I loved all of that. And then they defeat Amarantha, and then of course they go back and they get married.
They got married before then.
Well, they have they kind of have it's like more of a formal like a wedding coronation, la 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 la. Because I remember them making her gown too, like the orchestras.
I see. So they're having the festival for it, even though they've already officially
they're mated. But like what I loved is that when they're making Ravenna's wedding dress, Molly, who is Alarion's mate and who we met, of course, in Sweetling, Molly is helping with her wedding dress, which I loved that. It's like she's helping with the wedding dress. And then Ravenna has a vision that Molly is pregnant. So Molly doesn't know she's pregnant until Ravenna's like, "Huh, did you know you were pregnant?" And that's what I love, because I was like, "Aw, Alarion and Molly are going to have a baby." But then, of course, it does end on a cliffhanger, which leads us into
that last book.
So before I get into that cliffhanger, so SE Wendel wrote another book that is kind of like, how Sweetling was kind of a novella. It's like shorter.
It's a shorter one.
So her next book is a shorter, like a novella. It has to do with some of the other side characters we've already met.
Okay.
Just like a little novella. And then her next book that is going to be coming out, I'm not sure when, I'm sorry, but it is going to be, which I'm so excited for it, but Asta, the Fae who, then gets to take Amarantha's place, that her book is going to be the next one. It's going to be Asta's book.
Okay, well,
and how
that makes
she meets
sense.
her own mate. And I'm like, yes! Because I really liked Asta, like, when they met. And what I did love, I will say, I love how Ravenna was trying to help Asta with her magic and, like, with, like, almost like a motherly, sisterly sort of figure for her. Because
Well,
Asta
what
doesn't
I'm
have
wondering
anybody.
is, why did Amarantha want to go after Ravenna in the first place again? I forgot why.
Because
Was it she was
she
like
just,
powerful?
yeah, and she sees her, Amarantha wants the throne, and she sees Ravenna as, oh, well, and Ravenna, in the very, like, when she was a child, had a vision of Amarantha's downfall. So she thinks if she can get rid of, Amarantha thinks if she can get rid of Ravenna, then,
that won't happen.
that won't happen, which,
That's
obviously,
not how that works.
that's not how that worked. But anyway, we do end on a cliffhanger that leads into the novella. So the cliffhanger kind of ends with, there are these characters named Fia and Theron, and they said that they come on behalf of Lady Aslan Darrow, which of course we've met Aslan before, and Queen Igraine Monaghan.
Aslan's from
Ironling. Ironling. She's the, like, blonde princess that ends up
with
But anyway, and she kind of Fia and Theron, these two new characters, they're coming forward and saying, okay, we're coming on behalf of Aslan, and it kind of ends with, like, this kind of cliffhanger of, like, more to come, which I liked. I was like, yes, okay, it's like a little teaser. So we'll, of course, eventually get to those at some point too. So if you guys are following along and reading along,
our next book
is going to be a duology. Now we may.
What's it called?
Well, hold on, because I want to explain. So we also are going to be doing a book for Pride Month. So it kind of depends on how quickly we can read and record. But what we might do,
Not very quick.
We're we work full-time jobs. So, but what we might do is we'll probably read the first book of this duology, and then the book for Pride Month, and then the second book of this duology. We don't know which book we're going to do for Pride yet, but
we're figuring it out.
Soon to come. But our next book is going to be a duology, and the book that we're going to be reading is called A Song of Wraiths and Ruin. So if you're following along, if you're reading along, absolutely, join us. It is by Roseanne A. Brown. So, and it is West African inspired young adult. And then, of course, it's a duology, so there are two books. So we'll, of course, be reading the second book. But the first book is called A Song of Wraiths and Ruin.
So join us. Or just, tune in and we'll just tell you about it for you. Anyway, last order of business is we got to plug our socials and talk about cats.
That's right. See.
Follow us on YouTube at CatsandBooksPod or on
we also have
Spotify
and
other
Spotify.
podcasts.
We have Spotify. We have our YouTube here.
Allegedly, Apple Music also has it. I don't know. I don't have Apple Music, so I can't check.
We do have a ghost hunting podcast as well.
Well, it's more of a show.
It's like, it's a show.
A showcast.
It's a showcast. So that is called Toast to the Ghost.
Is it a Toast to the Ghost or just Toast to the Ghost?
Toast to the Ghost. And then...
yeah, check out our YouTube channel, Toast to the Ghost.
More to come. Yeah. And then, we're going to keep reading. We're going to keep writing. If you're interested in art, Izzy has an art page called Janx Art.
JANX _art
Art.
ART, as in art, like an old guy.
And then, if you're interested,
let's talk about the
like,
book con that we're going to.
yes,
I mean, it's not for a while, but start planning now.
yeah, start planning now. So, I will be a guest.
And me, well,
and me, yes,
sort of.
we will be a guest at Fantasy Forge Smoky Mountain Book Con.
We can put a link to the site.
Yes, we will put a link to the site. This is going to be there. It's going to be at the Heartsong Lodge and Resort in Pigeon Forge. A little bit about that area. If you do go, you can go and explore the Smoky Mountains. So you can go hiking. They've got a Titanic museum. They've got, oddly enough, they have a salt and pepper shaker museum.
Oh, cute.
Like,
I do actually want to go.
Like, there's just a lot of quirky, fun stuff to do in both Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg. I can't recommend that area enough. They've got,
Gatlinburg's a very fun little spot to visit.
Yeah.
Actually,
that concludes
our links and events. Yay, Aaron. Let's talk about the cats. What are the news for your kitties? Updates.
Pippin and Aquila they're doing good.
They look like they're losing weight.
They're doing good.
They're doing a little fitter because they were chongus.
They are kind of chongus, but
not anymore. They seem fine.
Well, Aquila at the beginning of the year had a cold.
Whoa.
And I was really worried about her because I was like, "Oh my God, what is happening? What is this?"
My cat has pneumonia.
Yeah, like I mean,
it can happen.
Worried.
It can happen.
So we took her in. They checked her out, and she had just like a cold, basically. But it was so sad, guys. Her little nose kept
just
running.
So running. Oh,
and
baby.
She was so congested, and I was just like, "Oh my God,
my baby is suffering." She's just like.
Well, we would put her. Well, we would put her in because one of the things you can do if your cat ever does actually get congestion, one of the things you can do.
Because I actually don't know.
Is you lock them in the bathroom with you.
All right.
Turn on the steamy shower, and the steam does help because it did help her until we could get her into the vet.
So it clears it out.
Yes,
gets a little bit moisture in there.
And then we took her to the vet, and basically what they do is they give them a big old shot of antibiotics.
Oof.
But it basically cleared it.
Wow.
She felt better within like a day or two.
Wow.
Was everything cleared.
Miracles.
And they did say, hey, if she's still bad in a week, bring her back in.
And then you can figure out what it is from there. But
she, she was fine after that. So she's okay. Pippin, we still need to take into the vet for her yearly. But we were so worried, obviously, about Pippin or Aquila. We were so worried about Aquila. I'm like, okay, we're going
priority. This is priority, kitty.
This is priority. Pippin seems to be doing fine.
Pippin seems fine.
She's doing all right.
She's her usual derpin self. Well, my kitty's Gemini's just fine. He's his usual derpin self. He's very needy. Every time Cleo comes in, he chases her away. He's like, "No, only me. Only I can be king of the castle." So Cleo just hides on the cat tree, but I go visit her so that she gets some father time. But I have to separate them. I have to shut Gemini away because he's too annoying. He just comes in and like, get in the way every time. I'm like, no, hang on. You already got yours. You need to go calm. But we found out that Cleo has poor little kitty thyroid, hyperthyroid. So she's just like been wasting away, and I didn't know. But I finally took her to the vet, and they diagnosed her with the blood work with the thyroid.
Mm-hmm.
So luckily, the medicine I have, I can just put it on her ear, and that's a lot less miserable for everyone. But she was stressed out by even just smearing a little thing on her ear. She was like, "Oh, what's happening? I don't like it. Oh my God, the thing's happening." Oh. But she's been eating a little more. Like I've been trying to pay attention to her food, and I just like sit next to her and stare at her eating every day, like twice a day, to make sure she gets some wet food down. I've been trying to just like stuff her full of treats. And like it works sometimes, and sometimes she will look at the treat and be like, "This shit again? No. Disgusting. I want a different thing."
She's so funny.
She's so funny. She's a picky little baby. And sometimes she'll stop eating because she just gets bored, and then I go there and I like poke around in it, and she'll come back and eat some more. Like I just have to keep going and like poking the food, and then
She's so funny. She's so
I
funny.
literally have no idea what it is that she is objecting to, but I just have to keep like trying
my
things to be like,
God.
please just eat like 2/3 of this small
just eat
lump of food.
Eat it. Put it in your mouth.
Please eat the food.
Like, put it in your mouth.
But anyway, hopefully that medicine will help like with her appetite, and she's looking a lot better. Her little bones were sticking out earlier, but since I've started like really focusing, it's been like a couple weeks since I've been really trying to feed her, and I think you can kind of start to tell that she's like filling out a little bit.
Yeah,
I hope so, because she was just so skinny. She was all skin and bones. I was like, my baby's dying, starving to death out here. And Gemini is just a fucking shark in the water. Because that's the other thing, is he's just running around constantly being the worst. So Cleo has to go all the way down there where she's in danger of him coming up, pushing her out of the way, and it's like, stop. So anyway, I'm dealing with that.
He's a cutie.
They're both very cute. They hate each other. But anyway, I love them both, so it sucks for them. They get to keep living together until they do.
Oh my God.
Sorry. This is the lot you rolled. And being siblings, because they are litter mates. Anyway, that's my cat update. They're doing okay. Cleo's being real cute. Gemini's being real cute. I'm trying to pay them both equal amounts of attention and give them some pets, give them some foods that they like, all that. They're doing okay. I still got to get Gem into
The vet.
into the vet, but he just seems so normal. I mean, I do need to give him his shots anyway. Like that needs to happen
shots.
just to get it. You know,
They're shots.
just to get him seen, make sure we're not missing anything. But yeah, anyway, that's all I got from the kitty land. They're doing okay, and I'm glad your cat's doing okay. We're in Aaron's house right now, so I've seen them. They're doing good.
Being chongus.
No more sniffly Aquila.
No. That was so sad.
Go to our YouTube channel, check out our cat videos if you like that sort of thing. Anyway, this has been Cats and Books Club podcast. Thanks for spending this 50 minutes with us. This was fun. All right. Bye.
Bye.
Pro